So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very cheap airsoft scope for your airsoft gun, of course. So a few things you're going to need. I just got this from Michael's. It's like a little tweezer magnifying glass thing. It's 4x magnification, and it was like $5. So I got 2 of those there, and I got this size because what's unique about it is it fits pretty much exactly on the end of my PVC pipe, which is very good. And you're gonna need PVC pipe. I'm not sure what size this is. I think it's maybe an inch, but you don't have to use this size. You can get bigger, which I encourage. But for my setup, for my gun, I am using an inch PVC because my gun, the rail mount is way forward on it, and just not that nice to like try and look through a scope and everything. So I'm using this part from my old shotgun. It has a rail mount on top, but basically I'm going to be sticking PVC pipe inside of it like this and hockling it in there. And when I attach it, it'll be sticking way back like this, so it'll bring the scope closer to my eye, and it'll be nice. So you're going to need that stuff. If you're doing what I'm doing, then you're going to need one of these. And you're going to need some bolts and nuts and random hardware, and also time, a hot glue gun, a hacksaw, a file to deburr the PVC pipe, and a ruler to do some scientific measurements. So let's get started. Alright, so what I have here is my ruler setup and my 2 tweezer magnifying glasses. And I open up the tweezers, and it's really nice that they came with tweezers because it makes like a perfect holding stand for them. So I can do this. Basically, you're going to measure what you want it to do. So you're going to look through it and make sure you're like pointing out a window or something. And basically, you're going to slide one magnifying glass back all the way until you like start losing focus. But you want to make sure it gets good clarity. And you take that measurement, so looks like from an inch to 5.5 inches, which is very nice. I don't have some crazy numbers, so I'm going to use that as my PVC. Alright, so I have clamped my PVC pipe into a table clamp. So now I'm going to measure out 5.5 inches on it. And I'm going to go a little over because I can always file it down if I don't get a nice flat cut, which is going to be very important for this. So I'm going to take 5 and a little over. Yeah, that looks good. So when I have my mark, I'm just going to adjust a little in. So now that I have that done, I'm going to deburr it using a handy dandy box knife. So you just want to make sure you get the burrs out of there so they don't mess with your view of it. And be careful not to cut yourself, because that would be very, very bad. Pipe is nice and deburred. I'm going to do a test run just by sticking magnifying glass over it, like so, on both ends. And I'm going to look through it just to make sure I got the right focal length. And right now, it appears that I did not. So that's why I cut it a little long. So I'm going to file it down a little bit, okay? Okay, so after sanding it down some, I have tested it out, and I'm happy with it because it works pretty good. I don't know if you're going to be able to really see it, but yeah. And please note, this is not the highest quality of optics ever, because these are plastic magnifying glasses, and I mean, yeah, it's not going to work as good as like one of the $50 ones from any airsoft website, but this is just something to get you by if you're on a low budget and you're creative like me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of cutters or something. You can always use scissors. I'm going to just cut the magnifying glass off, like right there. I'm going to leave the gray attachment around it on because then it just fits perfectly over the PVC. And now, before I go and like hot glue everything onto it, I'm going to go spray paint this black, so I'll be back. Alright, so I've sprayed it black, and I even did the inside. It would have been much easier if I used black PVC, but fortunately I didn't have black PVC this size, and I didn't want to go buy like 10 feet of it just for this small project. So I just realized a little problem that I'm going to have. This, when it goes in there, it's not as long as it, so it's going to be kind of weird looking through it, having this whole part like shade or whatever. I don't really know what the effect's going to be when I look through it. So I'm just going to do a quick test. Alright, so next I'm going to hot glue the lenses onto this tube. And then I'm going to hot glue the tube in here. I'm going to cut another length of PVC. And it's going to go like right here. So that way I can like squeeze it down and it will clamp onto the rail mount on my gun. Alright, so here it is, done. Well, not done right now, but I'm done hot gluing it in to the shotgun rail sort of thing, and I'm very happy with how it's turning out. Like, it even has a nice weight on it, like it's a real thing even though it's not. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut PVC to go in here so I can clamp it down onto the rail. So yeah, so I have my gun now, and I cut the length of PVC and then I cut out a groove in it. I just guessed at the width and I was pretty dead on, and I was very happy about that because I didn't have to do a lot of sawing or filing. And basically how it's going to work, it's going to slide on the rail like that, and there's going to be some bolts going through to clamp it down so it won't move. And then this is going to become hot glued right like that. And I think it's going to turn out really good. It's going to look really awesome. Alright, so what I did was I hot glued this in here. Then I went over to my drill press and I drilled holes through it. Then I already put the bolts through. So I'm just going to quickly put the nuts on. And washers, because I don't want to like tear through the plastic. Alright, so last night after finishing my first airsoft scope, I showed it to my dad, and he noticed that the focus in it was not exactly good. So he told me to do some research, which I did. I looked it up on the internet, and I found out this really easy method to get the pretty much perfect focus of it. So basically I took my first magnifying glass and I hot glued it exactly at the 0 on the ruler. And then, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, let me try and adjust it. But then you take a piece of paper, so basically you slide it forward until you get that nice sharp image. And that's the focal length of the first magnifying glass. Let's see if I can. And then I marked that on my ruler. And then what I did is I measured double that. And then I glued my second magnifying glass in. So that way when you look through it, it will give you the exact focus. And then you want to cut your PVC pipe so that it fits in there.